Hey everyone, James here. In this video, I'm going to talk about why your property might not be selling when sales are at near all-time highs. First, I'm going to talk briefly about the market and why your property should be selling, and then about the number one reason why it might not be selling and what you can do about it. The property market is coming out of an exceptionally busy 2021, and with the last 2 months of the year yet to be reported, 2021 has already seen the highest level of completed sales since 2007, with Rightmove reporting buyer numbers up 41% compared to 2019 and expecting 1.5 million completions for the full year, which is 300,000 transactions more than in an average year. 7 out of 10 properties advertised on Rightmove are currently sold subject to contract, a number that has never been higher, whilst available stock has been hitting record lows throughout 2021. According to Zoopla, buyer demand is up over 15% compared to 2020, and the amount of properties for sale is down over 33%. The high demand combined with low stock levels has translated to huge growth in house prices, with asking prices trending up throughout 2021 and an average nationwide growth in prices of 7.1% year on year. With the market booming, you might be here because you're asking yourself, all I'm reading about is how good the market is. Everyone else's property is selling, so why isn't mine? Why am I being left out? If this sounds like you, it's time to take a step back and look at the big picture. The first point is the most important one, the most common one, and also the one that people least want to hear: price. The simple reality is an overpriced property will take longer to sell or might not sell at all. In fact, by pricing your property too high, the chances are that you'll achieve less money in the end than if you had priced it fairly in the first place. If the marketing is good, but you're not having any viewings at all, it's a pricing issue. If you're having a lot of viewings but no one is expressing interest or making an offer, it's a pricing issue. When it comes to price, a lot of sellers say that they don't want to reduce on the basis that if someone is interested, they will just make an offer. This simply isn't the case. Pricing a property fairly and accurately is everything. The story I tell most often from my personal experience is of a one-bedroom garden flat I had on the market in North London. It was on the market for months and months at $265,000, and we had viewings almost every day, but not one offer. I told the vendor constantly that the price was the issue, and he was insistent that someone would make an offer. Eventually he conceded and we reduced the price to $250,000, a small reduction of just £15,000. Within a week, the viewing numbers skyrocketed. We had multiple offers which went to best and final bids, and I sold the flat for just over $257,000. If we had left the price at $265,000, the flat might have stayed on the market forever, or someone would have eventually made a cheeky low offer which the vendor would have felt compelled to accept due to the lack of any other interest. By giving it a small reduction, the interest increased dramatically and we achieved a fantastic price. I've also had a very similar story recently where I was marketing a house for $875,000. We had lots of viewings but no offers. We reduced to $850,000 and suddenly we had multiple offers within a week, including one over asking price. The point is, a property that is accurately priced will sell quicker and attract more buyers. An overpriced property won't attract interest because people won't be able to justify the price when comparing it to similar properties which are on the market for less money, or because buyers who could afford your property if it was at the correct price will look at it and think that they can't afford it. There are a few different reasons why your property might be priced too high. Maybe your agent overvalued your property to get your instruction. This is unfortunately common practice. Maybe you went with a value you think it's worth rather than what the market says it's worth. You're likely to be emotionally attached to your property, but prospective buyers aren't. They will value your home in accordance with the market and not how much you like it. Maybe no one is to blame, and you and the agent simply got the price wrong. Ultimately, price can be objective, and you don't really know what a property is worth until it's on the market and you see what the reaction is. It also has to be said, even if your property is priced high and you're lucky enough to receive an offer, things may fall through when the mortgage lender values the property. They will downvalue a property if they think the buyer is paying too much, and this will lead to you having to renegotiate the price or maybe even the buyer walking away entirely. With nearly 400,000 down valuations last year, leading to an average price drop of £7,500, this is a real risk. So if the issue is price, we need to talk about what you can do about it. Before I do, if you're finding this video helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button and let me know down below in the comments. It will really help grow this channel so that more people can benefit from the information. So if your property is above a buyer's budget, they're unlikely to view it and might not even know it's on the market. This means the first thing to look at is the tactics of your pricing. Most buyers set a maximum price when searching on the property portals. As a seller, it can be tempting to push the price a bit. However, if you put your house on the market for say $505,000, buyers with an upper limit of $500 won't see it in their search results. This means you're excluding your most likely buyer from seeing your property. At the same time, if you put your house on for $499,950, buyers with the lower limit of their search set at $500,000 also won't see your property. It's best to have the price set bang on $500,000 to get the most visibility. The second thing to look at is your price compared to recent sales of comparable properties and other properties which are currently on the market. Buyers are savvy and will certainly be doing this, so you need to make sure that you do it too. The best way to find the value of your property is to research what similar properties have sold for and also get valuations from free local estate agents. Property valuations can be complex, but they aren't rocket science. The easiest starting point is to look at a 1 mile radius around your property. Find 3 to 5 similar properties which have sold within the last 6 months and match your property in terms of size, number of bedrooms and bathrooms and condition, and see what they have sold for. If you can't find anything within these parameters, expand the radius and extend the time frame until you have some relevant comparables. Next, you can add or subtract value from your property based on the differences between yours and the ones which have sold. So if your house is in excellent condition and the sold house down the street was a wreck, you can estimate how much it would have cost to spend to renovate that house to the same condition as yours. And that will give you a rough idea of how much extra yours could be worth. Equally, if a property similar to yours has been sat on the market for 6 months, that is usually an indicator that it's priced too high and that you should be pricing yours lower, not the same or higher. Rightmove is a tool that shows you what houses have sold for in a specific location or postcode. Zoopla also has a similar tool. If your price isn't measuring up, it's time for a reduction. This might feel like a terrible idea, however price drops are very common. Buyers these days do not see a price reduction and assume that the house has something wrong with it. They know that you, as a seller, made a commercial decision to try for a higher price and it didn't work. Simple as that. So how much to reduce by? On the most basic level, the rules on Rightmove are that a property will only be refreshed as a new listing and sent out on their email alerts if it is reduced by an amount greater than 2% of the asking price. For this reason, any reduction of less than 2% is a waste of time as no one will see it or notice it. Other than that, you don't want to be the seller reducing their price by £1,000 per week. A price reduction needs to be significant to do the trick. How much can be called significant depends on the price bracket you're in. If your property is on the market for £275,000, a £10,000 to £15,000 reduction might do the trick. If your house is on the market for £54.5 million, your reduction might need to be in the hundreds of thousands. If your property is getting viewings but no offers, then a small reduction might be enough. If you're getting no interest at all, a larger reduction of anywhere between 3 to 10% might be what's needed. You should also keep in mind the online price filters. Buyers looking at the portals like Rightmove and Zoopla generally search in increments of £10,000, £25,000 or £50,000. So be conscious of stepping down to the next price bracket to ensure your property is being seen by a new set of buyers. The third thing you can be doing is probably the most obvious. Speak to your agent. Ask them what the feedback has been from the buyers they are speaking to or reviewed your property. This will give you valuable insight into why the property isn't selling. A proactive agent should be getting feedback from every potential buyer. They should be asking every viewer for their thoughts on the property and the price, and they should be passing that information on to you after every viewing. That isn't all an agent should be doing. If you aren't busy with viewings, a proactive agent should be speaking to potential buyers every day and giving you feedback as to why these people don't want to come and see your property, or why you aren't receiving viewing requests through the portals, and offering you suggestions on how you can fix this, whether it be price or one of the other issues I'll go over in my next video. If you still feel price is correct and your agent isn't keeping you updated, it's time to get an opinion from another agent. Whilst I have focused on price in this video, it's not the only reason your property might not be selling. There are other factors which can be at play, such as your estate agent, bad marketing or photos, or who knows, maybe you're the problem. I'll be covering those in my next video. In the meantime, if you want to know the likely effect on house prices of the Omicron wave and the recent rise in the Bank of England's base rate, you can check out this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you found it helpful, please consider subscribing, clicking the like button, and sharing this with anyone who might benefit from this information. And I'll see you in the next one.